Hi, everyone. Welcome. I'm so excited to be here. We want to welcome you to our Natural Solutions workshop. My name is Ani Sinkagrani, and I'm from Whittier, California. So thank you for joining us. So there's just some things that to go over. It's very helpful if you have paper and pen, so you can take notes and write down any questions that you may have. We'll try to answer them at the end or throughout the session if there's any leaders that can answer the question. We will be following a script. We're going to honor your time, and we're going to make this anywhere from 45 minutes to 60 minutes, just so we can finish on time. And once it's recorded, you're able to share with others. And if you stay on till the end, we do have a gift, an ebook that we'll do a drawing for. So we'll use the chat feature throughout this workshop. And if you can go to the chat and tell us where you are joining us from, that would be great. Right, Leslie, Lakewood, California, Karen. Okay, we've got Nevada in the house. Okay. Okay, so let's see, I wonder if we have any new people. If you're especially new here, let us know who invited you, where you're from. Okay, we want our workshop to be very personal and helpful for you. So we're gonna start with a personal assessment for you and your family. What areas of your health would you like help with? So there will be numbers representing the areas that you or someone in your household might need some help. That you struggle with and you might need support with. So put a 1 if you have digestive issues, 2 for headache, pain, and inflammation. Put a 3 for immunity issues, 4 for stress and anxiety. Energy and stamina would be 5. You have sleep issues, let's put a number 6. And number 7 for blood sugar regulation. My number changes from time to time, and the numbers can be more than 1. Okay, I think you'll be excited at the many options that you have to take care of the root issues for your health. Let's take a look. We're going to take a look at 2 different approaches as we do this workshop. We're going to look at the modern approach and the natural approach. I'm going to go over some startling facts about the modern approach. The U.S. consumes 75% of the world's prescription drugs, even though we only make up 5% of the world's population. Every 19 minutes, someone in the United States dies from an accidental overdose of prescription meds. Our FDA estimates that 200,000 Americans are hospitalized every year because of overdoses and negative side effects from over-the-counter prescriptions or products like Advil, ibuprofen, aspirin. These products are also the cause of thousands of deaths per year. Even Tylenol, as it's commonly used and we know it's used for infants, can cause liver damage if used excessively. In addition, we're looking at $6.5 trillion spent each year on global health. Are we any healthier? Let's take a look. With the modern approach, we are programmed to use over-the-counter pills and prescriptions to address the physical problems and symptoms. With this focus, root causes and solutions are often overlooked. Check out the natural approach. Here we focus on the root causes and use a plant-based approach because our body is designed to recognize plant sources. Let's take a look at the next slide. So what creates disease in the body? Let's take a look at 3 main factors that cause disease. 1 is nutrient deficiency, 2 is inflammation, and 3, toxic overload. First, nutrition is a source for disease and at the core of our immune function. When our foundational nutrition is strong, we function optimally. We have energy, we think more clearly, we get great sleep, our mood is better, and we have little or less inflammation. The environmental working group put out on the information on this chart that you see here. 95% of the US adults are deficient in vitamin D. 94% are deficient in vitamin D. 61% are deficient in magnesium. So this data shows that our nutritional foundation is not strong. It shows us that most Americans do not have a great baseline of health. How do these nutrient deficiencies show up? We see them in our body, inflammation, we get headaches, we have often trouble sleeping, foggy thinking, digestive issues, and of course, lack of energy. Do any of these hit home for you? Poor nutrition is the #1 cause of poor health. Now, let's take a look at what causes inflammation. So inflammation is our second source of disease. Chronic inflammation is linked to many diseases, some of which are listed on the slide that you see. The biggest contributor is sugar. It's in everything that we consume now, particularly in processed foods. Oils like vegetable oil, palm oil, corn oil, soybean, sunflower, toxins in our environment, and stress and lack of sleep. Next is, let's take a look at the third area, toxic load. We're looking at the toxic load as a source for disease, and it refers to the chemicals in our body that build up from the environment, from the processed foods we eat, the personal care products that we often use, and pesticide use. So the Product Safety Commission tested and found 150 cleaning chemicals that are linked to ADD, to cancer, to asthma, to respiratory problems and reproductive problems and more. We can't always control what we come into contact with outside of our home. However, we can make better choices inside of our homes. So what do we do with all of this? I'm going to next introduce Lori, who is going to take us to the health solution. Lori?
Hi, everyone. I just, now after she's mentioned all this, one of the first things we do is we turn to supplements. And that's what I think most all of us do. We think it's a good source of way to fix our problems. So before we do that, let's go to our chat feature. Who here uses a supplement now? Think like vitamin D, C, B. Maybe you take a multiple vitamin or an omega. If you take any kind of supplement, put that in your in the chat box for us so we can see it. VMG, LLV, and many others. Okay, we'll be talking about LLV here really shortly. Omegas, that's great. All supplements doTERRA like VMG and E omegas. Yes, yes. Before we go into what doTERRA has, let's take a quick peek at the supplemental industry, where we turn to boost our nutrition. A study by the FDA from 2007 to 2016 detected contaminants in 776 dietary supplements produced by 146 companies. Another study showed 3 leading memory supplements found that 2 of them didn't even contain the active ingredient. The supplement industry is not heavily regulated. Products can contain lots of fillers and not much of the ingredients listed. If you have some reservations or hesitation as to whether a product would work or not, this information supports your concerns. Here's a story from a fellow wellness advocate whose son works in a health food store. He told his mother that when a supplement on the shelf has been tested and found to be missing an active ingredient listed on the label, the store has up to 9 months to remove the product from the shelves. That's concerning because it means they continue to sell the product. Because our standard American diet is deficient in most vitamins and nutrients, because our farming practices have changed and is depleted of nutrients, it is necessary to supplement to get our body what it needs to function properly. So let's make sure we are using safe and effective supplements. doTERRA is known for its safe and effective oils, but did you know that the lifelong vitality supplements are one of doTERRA's best selling products because they effectively address 3 disease areas we just mentioned: the nutrient deficiency and inflammation and toxic overload. Think of this line as the necessary foundation for your health house. In addition, this line helps support the cleansing and filtering out of toxins. There are 3 supplements in this line: a food supplement, a cellular repair, and your omegas. Lifelong Vitality fills the nutrient buckets in your body, contains powerful antioxidants to help protect our DNA. It's made with whole food ingredients, and it's 95% bioavailable for our bodies. The average supplement is 20 to 30% bioavailable. This product has gotten more people off of their over-the-counter and prescription drugs more than any other product doTERRA sells. Let's look at the clinical trial here.
Hey, Lori, before we go on, may I share a testimonial?
Oh, sure. We'd love it.
So I'm Diane Mattern, and I live in Spring Creek, Nevada, and I just retired from 30 years of teaching. And one of the things that I love most about Lifelong Vitality is it gave me the energy and stamina that I needed to continue to do the job that I was doing. Also, in addition to that, and this is something that just came about. I mean, when I first started using doTERRA, everyone would talk about Lifelong Vitality. And I was like, yeah. You know, I was taking what I thought were really good supplements, right? But I finally decided to go with my gut and trust what everyone was saying. And long story short, after a good amount of time, and I don't even remember the amount of time, but after a while, I just was like, wait a minute, my knees aren't creaking when I go up and down stairs anymore. And I don't have any more inflammation and pain in my back. And the arthritis that was starting to develop in my hands was gone. So, coincidence? I don't think so. Lifelong Vitality, I'll never go a day without doTERRA's foundational supplements.
That's a great story. I can attest to something very similar. I was taking other vitamins, and then I learned about Lifelong Vitality, and it was kind of a no-brainer. Thank you so much for your sharing your testimony. Okay, to the 60-day clinical trial. Take a look at this slide. You'll see some interesting statistics here. These clinical trial results are based on blood work taken before and after subjects took doTERRA's Lifelong Vitality supplements for 2 months while continuing their normal diet and exercise patterns. This is a difference that can be experienced when you begin taking bioavailable nutrients-dense supplements like Lifelong Vitality. You can see statistically significant improvement in blood lipids, fasting, insulin, cardiovascular biomarkers, reduced tripeptide levels in the blood, and cellular inflammation. You can see the positive effects The antioxidants and the inflammation are down, and the overall improvement, mental clarity, energy, motivation, control, balance, and just general health, happiness. Consider lifelong vitality as part of your food budget, and we urge you to consider it just as that part. Well, that's what we do. It's less than a cup of coffee at your favorite place. If you purchase it through our customer rewards program, you can also get points to get future products for free. To focus on gut health specifically, lifelong vitality paired with PB Restore and Terrazyme is our highest recommendation. The gut plays a vital role in our overall health and well-being. Often called our second brain, the gut is vital in everything from our weight to our immune function to our mental wellness. doTERRA's PB Restore Probiome Complex is our patented dual capsule delivery system. It is a unique formation of 30 pre, pro, and postbiotics that help to restore diversity and balance for optimal gut health. This dual capsule delivery system protects the sensitive probiotic cultures from our stomach acid and ensures that the good bacteria make it to where they can provide the most benefit. It contains 18 billion colony forming units, or CFUs, of good bacteria, 22 different species of exceptional diversity. It maintains healthy intestinal balance. It supports our digestive system, our immune system, as well as GI tract's health, especially intestines and colon. It supports optimal metabolism and food absorption. In simple terms, when we keep our gut biome filled with good bacteria, then bad bacteria has a much harder time doing its dirty work. Terrazyme is doTERRA's digestive enzyme. This contains a variety of whole food enzymes that help with digestion. It can be taken with every meal, supports healthy digestion and metabolism, and the conversion of food nutrients to cellular energy. Also, it's helpful to ease inflammation in the body. Okay, I think I'm handing the next slide off to Leslie.
Thanks, Lori. And good evening, everyone. It's really a pleasure to be with you this evening. So now we're going to head into a new section called diabetes and sugar. And this is really important because it seems to be a growing problem in the United States. So let's go back to the chat feature. And in the chat feature, I'm going to ask you a couple of questions and you're going to give me your best guesses. Here we go. Ready? What percentage has diabetes cases increased in America since the 1960s? Put your answer in the chat. 500%. Good. 600%. We're going up and you're getting really close. It's actually 200%. Oh, going to go down. That's actually 700%. That is just unbelievable. Here comes the second question. How long does it take the average American to consume the same amount of sugar that our ancestors from 200 years ago would consume in a year? Put your answer in the chat. Three weeks. 7 days. 2 weeks, 2 days. Danita, you are correct. It is 2 weeks. All right. So we're going to talk a little bit about cardiometabolic health. Only 6.8% of the population has optimal cardiometabolic health. The rest of us do not. But doTERRA has a system that could help you with that. So let's move on to that. So we have what's called the MetaPower system, and it was specifically designed to tackle poor cardiometabolic health. This is your macronutrient line. It pairs beautifully with lifelong vitality, which is our micronutrient line. The MetaPower line does three things. One, it addresses cellular repair that leads to aging. Two, it addresses blood sugar regulation and supports the inhibiting of fat cell absorption into the cells. Now let's talk a little bit about health span versus lifespan. While we can't do anything about our chronological age, which is our lifespan, we can do something about our metabolic age, our health span. Did you know that the average American spends the last 14 years of their lives in a state of declining health with difficulty completing everyday tasks? What if we could be empowered to change that? What if we can write a different story for ourselves? The MetaPower system is the first and only system that synergistically supports a healthy metabolism, curbs cravings, sustains normal range glycemic and insulin response evenly throughout the day, and naturally promotes cellular energy. Those who have used the line report improvements in eyesight, energy, pain, neuropathy, sleep, skin and hair growth, mood, mobility, and strength. It causes the body to build muscle. I'd like to highlight one of the products that I just love. Oh, but before we get into too many details of MetaPower, let's look at a few of the benefits in these before and afters. The young lady on the top has been using MetaPower for 4 months. She's had amazing results, especially with improvements on her face, eyes, and hair. The gentleman on the bottom left experienced improved skin elasticity, darker hair growth. He got his blood work done, and after 3 weeks on MetaPower showed a 40-point decrease in cholesterol, a 25-point decrease in LDL, and a 57-point decrease in triglycerides. On the right side, you see a 58-year-old lady who has red spots on her arms. Anytime she bumped herself, they would appear. Doctors biopsied and said, it's just what happens when you get older. After using MetaPower for just 3 months, the spots are totally gone. She has seen other changes too, a 60-pound weight loss, thicker hair, nails growing, and a lower A1C. Now let's go on to one of my favorite products, which is MetaPower Advantage. This is doTERRA's collagen. Unlike any on the market, this product includes 9 types of collagen, over 70% tripeptide, so your body absorbs it 12 times more than other collagens. A peptide is simply a large protein chain, too large for your body to break down and use it for its full benefit. When it's broken down into tripeptides, simply a smaller protein chain, the body can absorb and utilize them in their entirety. Advantage comes in small packets with freeze-dried collagen and other nutrients to mix with 4 to 6 ounces of cool or cold water. MetaPower Advantage promotes healthy biological aging and improves health span by helping aging cells, activates longevity genes, improves cognitive function, supports lean muscle and connective tissue, improves skin density, elasticity, and firmness. If you love science and knowing how and why these products work, ask your wellness advocate to send our deep dive reportings for lifelong vitality and MetaPower. Does anyone have a fabulous or just a testimonial for MetaPower Advantage that they would like to share?
I can share something.
Thank you, Ani.
I was just trying to see who's someone else gonna go.
Me too.
I love it. It's been almost like 2 years, I think. I mean, I can pretty much count on my fingers the times I have not used it. So I use it regularly. I have to be honest, the whole system, sometimes I'm not, I don't use the whole system. I did before and it was wonderful, but there's just, there's so many things to use. I love it because it's, anti-aging. My hair is kind of like, hair and skin, nails, everything. It's, I can't wait to do my blood work again because in the past, my blood work used to have some issues with my cholesterol. And as when I started using that, it supported that too. My LDL went down and my HDL went up, not drastically because it was never that high. So the only thing that I was doing when I started doing the test was our MetaPower, so the system. Now we're doing even BMG and a lot of other stuff. So just overall, it is for women in our age group. I mean, I know we need it after 25, but just especially if you're in your 40s, 50s, 60s, it is just something that we need to use every day. And now I love using it with my BMG at one shot and take it every morning. So I love it. So yeah.
Great. Thank you, Ani. I really appreciate the testimonial. It's great.
Thanks.
So now I'm going to turn it over to Karen, who's going to take us on a journey through essential oils. Karen?
Thank you, Leslie. So in an independent study conducted by Roseman University on doTERRA essential oils, they were found to be therapeutically relevant in cell growth and rejuvenation, beneficial in supporting metabolic health, and provided positive effects for healthy inflammatory response. Essential oils from competitors had minimal effects. The study concluded that therapeutic potential of essential oils is highly dependent on the complete composition of the oil. Sourcing, processing, and characterization are critical, and doTERRA stands out. Our pursuit is purity. When an oil is truly pure, they do not include fillers. There are no synthetic ingredients, and there is no dilution. Independent lab tests show that the majority of brands available to consumers aren't pure. I can post the link to the study at the end of this class. doTERRA sources their oils from plants grown in their ideal environments. This makes all the difference for the chemical profile and the therapeutic effectiveness of the oil. Every batch of doTERRA oil is tested for ideal chemistry and consistency, so our oils do what we expect them to do. Over 54 tests are done on each batch of doTERRA oils from farmer to consumer. Our doTERRA oils can be used topically, aromatically, and generally internally. People turn to doTERRA because they want safe, affordable, and effective solutions for their family's health. Let's look at what this means exactly. Many people are looking for safe and effective solutions that don't have the dangerous side effects or risk of addiction of many over-the-counter and pharmaceuticals. We just mentioned independent lab tests that show most oils on the market have contaminants and synthetic markers. We suggest never ingesting another brand. doTERRA recognized that the essential oil industry did not have a standard for purity that ensured safety. To raise the bar, they created CPTG, Certified Pure Tested Grade. This standard is beyond organic and includes significant testing that isn't cheap. doTERRA invests to ensure that you have the most safe product that is best for you. Many of doTERRA oils are safe to ingest. Just look for the food grade label on the bottle. Let's now turn to an example and talk about two sisters that were spending the night at their grandma's house. They were used to putting on doTERRA lavender oil on their chests just before bed to help them relax and go to sleep. Grandma was out of doTERRA lavender. She used a backup from her medicine cabinet that she had bought at a health food store and figured it's just lavender, so it should work. The girls ended up with chemical burns and scars almost a year later. I'm not saying that this will be your reaction with essential oils. However, it is important that you understand the risk. doTERRA's oils are safe to use at any age from newborn to great grandma. Brand matters for safety. Let's look at affordability and effectiveness. Believe it or not, affordability is one reason that people turn to doTERRA. Oils are 50 to 70 times more potent than herbs. This means a little goes a long way. Let's illustrate. Using the chat feature, I want you to guess about a recent test conducted on Costco's peppermint oil. It showed that it was not 100% peppermint oil. How much peppermint do you think was in the Costco peppermint oil bottle? One drop? 50? Actually, it was just 10% peppermint oil. When you use a doTERRA CPTG oil, you get 100% of the real oil, making it much cheaper than options that may be diluted or altered. Some fun facts about affordability. Each 15 ml bottle contains 250 drops of essential oil in it. One dose equals 1 to 2 drops. On average, it's about $1 or less for treatment. Here's an essential oil tip. When addressing an ailment, it is always better to use less oil more frequently. For example, 1 drop of oil on a wound every 2 to 3 hours throughout the day is more effective than using 8 drops of oil on a wound at one time. Remember to use less more frequently. So with effectiveness, this is one of my favorite microbiology lessons. For the scientists in this workshop, we know this might be a simplified lesson, so here we go. Our body is made up of cells. Each one is surrounded by an oily membrane intended to protect it. It keeps the good in and the bad out. When you have a bacterial infection, see the green blob? An antibiotic will help because the bacteria grows on the outside of the cell. Viruses are different, and they proliferate on the inside of the cell. Unlike most modern medicine, essential oils can penetrate the cell membrane, help stop the duplication of the virus, and support your immune system to work optimally. When you have an essential oil on hand, you have an effective tool to begin supporting your body immediately instead of waiting to see a doctor and save money on copays. So with that, now I'd like to turn the time back over to Lori.
Thank you, Karen. There are many oils that support our immune system. Here are but a few. I carry them in my keychain so that I have them wherever I go. The oregano, the first one, is a powerhouse antibacterial. It's used for skin tags and warts, canker sores. And then we have tea tree. It's great for all things fungal or any kind of infection. It's great for acne. You can use it after you shave to prevent razor burn. Good for cold sores also. It can be used on wounds and cuts. It's amazing for struggling with smelly armpits, even when using deodorant on guard. The protector natural immune defense. Everyone should have On Guard. It stops the growth of viruses and bacteria. If it's diffused, it cleans the air of airborne pathogens. It soothes sore throats and can help basically knock any virus out. The key is to use it frequently right away. So it's worth having around in your keychain. Frankincense, considered the king of oils. When in doubt, use frankincense. It's renewing, beautifying, rejuvenating, and grounding. It reduces inflammation, relieves headaches. It's wonderful with peppermint and lavender. It supports our immune functions. Applying it topically can reduce the appearance of skin imperfections. It strengthens the effects of our oils when we use it together, and diffuse during meditation for a sense of relaxation and balance is really great. Let's take a look at our medicine cabinet. Imagine a medicine cabinet filled with safe and effective oils without addictive properties or side effects that you will have ready at a moment's notice to address life's little emergencies. Here are but a few medicine cabinet basics. Okay, so we have lavender, the Swiss Army knife of oils. Every first aid kit needs lavender in it. It's good for calming the mind and skin. It's great for bug bites and bee stings. Pain goes away almost immediately and the itching stops right away. It soothes and heals burns and skin irritations. It takes burning away immediately and doesn't scar. It's good if you struggle with sleep or just unwinding. It relieves stress and anxiety. Are you an allergy sufferer? If so, this is a must-have. It's a natural antihistamine. It increases the body's serotonin levels. If that's not enough to sell you on lavender, I don't know what would. Lemon is a cleansing. A drop or two in water is amazing for escorting toxins out of your body. The clean, fresh scent uplifts your mood. You can use it to clean your fruits and vegetables. It's awesome with anything sticky like residue and chewing gum too. And then we have peppermint, everything cooling and energizing. It increases your energy in the afternoon when you need to wake up and focus. It oxygenates your cells. Digest Zen is another one we have in our medicine cabinet for the stomach, bloating, gas, indigestion, diarrhea even. And then Breathe. If you're fighting sinus or respiratory issues, Breathe is great to have also. We learned at the beginning of this workshop the impact how inflammation is a cause of disease. doTERRA has safe, effective, and non-addictive tools. The oils and products on the screen are some favorites. Deep Blue is a must-have for our muscle and joint health. Not only does it relieve pain and tension, the amazing oils in it support muscle, joint, and bone healing. It alleviates any back pain. When you have a nasty bruise forming, grab your Deep Blue to stop it in its tracks. Stick a stick of copaiba in it, and it's easy to apply without it getting on your hands. Copaiba is just another oil used for pain and inflammation, a super inflammatory, if you will. Layered with another oil, it increases the effectiveness. When you really need to boost pain relief, this is what you're going to use with your Deep Blue. If you ever suffer from emotional strain such as anxiety or depression, this oil can calm and soothe. It supports all major body systems, your heart, your nerves, respiratory, immune, and skin. It can be helpful with ADD and ADHD and can be used as a CBD replacement. Need some help with mood and emotional support? Let's wrap up our oil sections with oils that will do this. For those of you who indicated at the beginning that you or someone in your family deals with heightened emotions or low lows, these are great options to consider. Adaptive helps the brain stay in executive functioning in the frontal cortex instead of going into fight or flight. It brings a calming effect over your body. Diffused in a room or use it topically. Then we have balance. It kind of smells like a forest. It's wonderful to diffuse, and it's very grounding emotionally and helps with grief, sadness, if you feel overwhelmed or any heaviness, or just getting through the day feeling more emotionally strong and grounded. And our last is serenity. It's calming and it helps for sleep. It may help you fall asleep more easily and sleep more deeply. So many people swear by it. Also, it's helpful for anxiety and stress. All right. Now I think I will be handing things back to Ani.
Thank you, Lori. Thanks everyone for teaching tonight. Diane, thanks for the slides. Anyway, so just to kind of wrap it up, I think it's been 8 or 9 years since I've done this doTERRA, or I was introduced to doTERRA, and the mood oils was what I started with, and I still continue to use them pretty much daily. I use Adaptive throughout the day today, and then I'll be using Balance and Serenity and my diffuser at night. I never imagined myself doing this business. However, the last probably 6 years or so, I have been doing it. It's a great tool. It's a great business. I love telling folks that I work for a global wellness company who not only sells oils, but also supplements. I love learning it, the personal development, knowing what we can use to better our body, the time flexibility and all that good stuff. And especially all of our new friends, all of the friends that we have made. So it's changed my life, and I hope it can change yours as well. You can always watch for, talk to the person who invites you to these classes, and they will be able to help you out. So we want to thank you for joining us tonight. And if you don't have any questions, we're going to say goodbye.